Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. Seems like it's only been about an hour ago that I was here doing another video for you. And I find myself necessarily feeling a desire, a need to wake you up out of the dream that you're in. Since that last time I took Duchess, my dog, for a walk, she hadn't been for a while. She was so excited, she was just springing and ripping and running and jumping through the grass, then taking care of business. Naturally, that's what happens when you get excited. And I looked at her, she was seeming to be having such a wonderful time. And it reminded me of people who love dogs. I mean, you can tell them, you know who they are. They treat dogs better than they do people. You know what I mean? Then I also thought about people who really don't like dogs. I mean, to the extent they don't even want to put up with them. When they come to your house to visit, you put your dog outside or in a different space just so that your visitors will be comfortable. They come into your house and they don't want to see the dogs in the house, in the kitchen and running around, touching their feet. No, they don't want to do that. And then there are some people who just can't stand dogs. Well, that's the way some people are about other people. The way they feel about that dog, don't want to have anything to do with that dog. That's the way they feel about other people. They don't want to have anything whatsoever. You can't put that dog far enough away from them. Even that would be too close. That's the way some American people feel about American citizens. And there are those who love dogs who feel the same way about American citizens. You can't put them far enough away. And this is truth to the extent that we have the problems that we have here in America. And I'm just trying to figure this thing out. Why is it like that? And yet I know no one was born like that. And so it takes me back to a point in time when I ask myself, why does it evolve like this? Well, on our way back from the walk, I was about to take a shortcut off the walk and go through some grass. And as I was about to do that, I saw this big snake laying in the grass. I held up, walked back, kept going up several times to verify that it was indeed a snake. And it was a snake. So I thought about what probably had to take place for that snake to be lying down there in that grass, hiding. I had a golf, whatever they call those things you hit the ball with, in my hand. And I remember the times, years and years ago, if you see a snake, you kill that joker right away. But I didn't feel that the snake deserved to be killed, so I just walked away. And as I was walking away, I tried to associate that snake with some other thoughts I had had. And then it dawned on me how it is a fact of understanding that many people think that human beings live on this earth to make a choice about where they really want to spend eternity. And it made me reflect back on a Bible story that says there was an angel in heaven at one time who really was dissatisfied about heaven, had his own vision about things, and really started running his mouth around there and got a third of the heavenly host to agree with him, just like the Republican Senate has agreed with Donald Trump. That's the parallel. These Republicans were representative of a certain kind of thing before, at least in words. Then Trump comes along and they put him down, but he still got in office. And all of a sudden they were lined up with him. I mean, they were aligned with him. So you can understand how those angels, if this story is true, was probably aligned up with Lucifer. Anyway, that was the thought that crossed my mind. And then I'm thinking about what could that mean. It meant, just a moment, Hello? I'm doing pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, give me a second or two. I'm trying to finish something up right here in this den, and I'll give 6, 7 minutes, 10 minutes. All right, all right, bye. So I'm trying to consider what this whole thing meant. The snake, the heavenly host, and the garden, the snake. And it is, the thought goes that we are here on this earth so we can actually decide. They say the angels were put in heaven and we were put on earth. And so if the angels were put there and made a decision that they didn't want to be there by their actions, then maybe heaven should be filled with those that want to be there. And those that don't want to be there got a choice. So you put humans on the earth so they can make a choice. Do you want to be in heaven? What I call peace, prosperity, joy, freedom, and the fulfillment of your dreams? Or do you want to go through lying, cheating, stealing, killing, trying to outdo others, take advantage of others, exploit others, kill and be killed, and have war? Thought about this stuff. So I looked at it, and there's a realization that people have choice about what they want to do in life. There are certain things that you do that gives an expression that you might want to live in heaven. And heaven is not ruled by a president, a king, a queen, any of those, a Caesar, a Pharaoh. Is ruled by a spirit called God. And if you want to live in heaven, you got to recognize God, the Spirit, above all others and all things. And the way you respect and show as a way of action that you honor that Spirit, that God, is determined by how you treat one another. But you still got choice. If you honor that Spirit, then you would utilize the resources that have been given here on this earth to represent that. In other words, you are creating, or in the process of creating, heaven on earth. And if it happens, then you enjoy heaven on earth as long as you can, and then when the time comes for you to go, you go. On the other hand, you're down here on earth to make a choice, and if your choice is to choose man, yourself, and those that look like you. You know, you try to make God. They say man was made just like God. So they want to put that in your mind that he looks just like you, white, right? Or if you're in Africa, black, right? Asia, right? All over the world, wherever they are. Then you would honor the rules and regulations designed by that one. Now that makes it a very awkward situation, because even in obeying the rules of that one, it is not designed for all of you. It's designed for some of you, and those are the ones that they need. Everybody else are tools to be used for the benefit of those that wants to be powerful. That's what Satan was doing, Lucifer was doing, wanted to be powerful, so he made some angels to honor him, to bow down to him, and to treat him like he was God. So on earth you have to bow down and treat man. If you're not with God, you got to treat man like man is God. And if you don't, you're going to find yourself going through some heavy situations, especially if you've lived in a situation where respecting man as if he was God was normal. Because now you got to be born again. And so it makes a little bit of sense when you think about that. These choices that you got to make. And I tell you, when you think about how those who make that choice are killed, right here, murdered, and those who say they're looking out for the Spirit and love the Spirit goes right along with that power that killed them. It almost makes it seem as if the only ones that go to heaven, true heaven, are those who are killed by God. Now not by God, killed by the man, by the system. Now you got those that say that if you go through the world just like you do, serving man and everything about man, until the day that you're about to die, that if you at that moment ask God to forgive you for that he will let you up into heaven. I don't believe that. Now, they teach that, but I don't believe that. God allows people to die as a reference, to die as an honor, to die to go to heaven, and all you got to do is ask for forgiveness. To me, now this is just me now, I'm not trying to make you believe this. To me, if you ask for forgiveness, the only thing you can get out of that is a chance to come back and prove yourself worthy of heaven. They say nobody's worthy of heaven. You ain't there if you ain't worthy. If the angels were kicked out because they weren't worthy, no. So it seems like a con game to keep you active in obedience to man, and hoping that before you die, when you land on your deathbed, asking God to forgive you, and they program you to believe that God forgives you and gonna let you into heaven. I believe God forgives you, but I also believe if he kicked them out of heaven for messing up, you right there on your deathbed, you've done everything wrong, but now you say you recognize the truth, and you ask God to forgive you. I can see God forgiving you, but you haven't passed the test. You still in elementary school. You still in high school. Baby, you got to go back and prove yourself worthy to graduate into heaven. Now that's where I'm going to leave it. So I'm struggling to be instrumental in opening up enough doors so if people can see and want to change and make heaven on earth, fine. But if they choose not to, then I guess I'm just willing to die, be killed by all of the world. Because I don't want this. I don't accept this. I'm not satisfied with this. And you got nothing to offer me that will make me be satisfied with this. No, it's going to be for all of us, or to hell with you. To hell with you. Yes, that's the subject. To hell with you. Until next time, this is Eddie Marker saying, bye-bye.